Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video I'm back with another account review. So I'm going to be reviewing your accounts in today's video. It's going to be episode 10. So let's see what you guys got for me. Now, as always, guys, if you would like to be featured in a future episode, all you have to do is go ahead and head over to the comments down below, comment down below your profile name and also your team name as well. So anyways, first player we have here is from Monsters Glory team, Mhrbl. So this player is at level 79, and let's see what we got here. So 9k MP. You've got yourself Drag Bite. Drag Bite's actually kind of solid. Now, this player mainly wants me to go ahead and give him some advice for PvP, like defense and attack wise, because he took a long break. So here's the thing. You've got yourself a supporter / damage booster, and then you've got yourself a denier. Now, here's the thing. Here is the thing. I would highly recommend swapping out Alchemistic for a tank. Okay, any tank, really. Taunt, Mega Taunt. You just name it. You could go ahead and replace it with that and then keep what you got here. Just make sure that she takes in the first turn before Drag Bite. So I mean, I'm pretty sure she actually is here, because even with those team speeds, look at the rank here, rank difference 115 to 100, although one's from Galactic Era. So let me see here. 10,794. Yeah, it should be faster, fast enough actually, faster than Drag Bite. So just taking the first turn, NER, double damage, and Drag Bite takes advantage and attacks. So just go ahead and swap this out with a tank, and then you'll be fine. You got yourself 2 attackers on your defense with a tank. So here's the thing. Maybe swap out, I would say maybe either Corey or this one. Panion, I guess you could keep Panion since you have it at 130 compared to 100. And I understand one is from the, corrupted era. Actually, I would probably actually use Corey then in that case. Panion's a bit old, so you can swap out Panion with maybe Alchemistic. So take Alchemistic and put it on your defense, pairing it up with Corey and the tank. And then that way you'll have more wins. But swap this out with a tank if you have any tanks here. Maybe a Zadrin, I see that you have that, you know. Oh, this one's actually not that bad if you want to go ahead and invest in this one. He actually gains that damage section at rank 3, so I actually like that. If you could get it to rank 3, that'd be awesome. But yeah, so for PvP attack team, you can use Mhrbl with these 2 monsters that you have already. And for defense, swap out Panion for probably, I would say, maybe a damage booster, since you already have yourself a tank. So, or you can probably do Alchemistic just as a denier. Sure, that works too. But these other monsters, I would say just don't invest in them because they're pretty much old. I see that you're a returning player like you mentioned in your comments, so there's not many that you could play around with. But just go ahead and do what I mentioned earlier, you know, with those monsters, swapping those around and who to use, invest in. So here for your islands, I see that you have legendaries. Oh, these ones are not purchased yet. I mean, it's a level 79 player obviously, so I'm not expecting too much really. I see that you're actually working on this island specifically, not bad. All your food farms, you can keep them in this island, but eventually I like to keep mine here. So if you want to go and move them here, it's up to you, honestly. If you don't, that's completely fine. Level 9 rune building, that's not bad, that's good. You have all your thunder monsters together, although there's water monsters there. But yeah, what I would recommend doing for future, even though I understand that you don't have these unlocked yet, but here's the thing. Later on, you're going to get a lot of mythics. So what I would recommend doing is making your main island full of mythics. Every single one of your islands should be full of mythics, unless it's, you know, busy with either food farms or let's say these little things here too, you know, like breeding guardians and all that other stuff. So you should always on all your islands, you should always have a mythic habitats or ancestral, one of the 2 really, because they make the most gold. So if you want to make a lot of gold, that'd be like the best thing to do. But yeah, gold boosts, I see that you have some gold boosts here and there, you know what I mean? Not this temple, I'm talking about this right here. I can't click on it for some reason. There it is. But yeah, for your main island, you should focus on maybe 2 elements, or you can do even 4. I've seen a player before that I've reviewed. If you watch, I think it was episode 9, you would see that it was basically split into 4, which was pretty unique. I've never seen that before. I see that you have all these 3 unlocked. That's good. I would highly recommend starting this out, like make it 100%. So that should be your like the first temple you should actually max out, and then this should be second, and then eventually that'll be third. So not bad, everything's looking good. Later on I'm sure you'll unlock these, and what I would highly recommend for those of you guys that are watching out there that have gold and you don't know what to remove, here's the thing: whenever your workers are free, start removing these. You want to take, you know, advantage of this, like the time that you have. So you remove all this, and in the future all you have to do is just purchase this for sale, and then it's all clear. Because why wait, right? So you might as well go ahead and start removing them, and then eventually when you have to purchase it, you purchase it and you start putting in habitats here and there. That way you don't have to wait. You know, when you purchase it, you have all these obstacles and you can't place anything. The only thing you could really use is maybe that little space right there where the banner is, you know, the purchase banner. So you guys get the point, right? All right, next player we got is Mario George Pro from Widow's Revenge. Sorry. So here's the thing: this player actually quit multiple times. Like, this player actually took a long break, like 5-year break. That's what it says in the comment. And on top of that, he came back at Doomsday Era, but then quit and came back at Galactic Era. So he basically wants some feedback on what monsters he should actually focus on leveling up, but we'll still do a full review overall, like on the account. So let's see, level 88 player, 22k monster power. So attack team, you're using this monster as a supporter, I'm assuming, yeah. And then you have your Pierce attacker, and last but not least Pangaloyat as your tank. Now here's the thing: as always, this I always mention this, right? For tanks, I understand that, you know, the role is to take in all the incoming damage, but you don't want to make it super slow. You don't want your team to be super slow. Who cares about the tank? Your team, okay? So you're gonna give the enemy a huge advantage if you actually, you know, slow down your team. So what I highly recommend doing is going in with 2 team speed and 1 life, or the most you can do is go with 2 life and 1 team speed. But many players out there also likes to do triple team speed. I'm one of them. So either 1 life, 2 team speed, or triple team speed. If you have any that are mutated with life, then do triple team speed. But if not, you can do two team speeds and 1 life, okay? So what I would do is swap out these level 5s with team speeds, okay? If you have them. If not, it's completely fine. Now here's the thing: I see that the speed of Naya and this monster is actually far apart, okay? So 13.9, you have 18.6. You see that? So what I highly recommend doing is actually kind of nerfing the speed of Naya so that's super close to this one, unless you want to keep it the way it is, because I'm assuming you're trying to turn transfer. But again, there's lots of anticipation monsters in on PvP, you know what I mean? So it's just that you'll win more attacks, okay? So 177 out of 209, that's not bad, but you can definitely go ahead and bump up those numbers if you go ahead and make those little small changes. So relics, obviously Tetsumit's mask with like Ingavar's banner, or you can even do Mr. B's banner, or one of my favorites, Alroc's banner. If you can actually craft that, that'd be nice. Chirp, Cupid, Burn Blood, interesting. Okay, so let's see what you got yourself for your defense. You got yourself a healer, if I'm not mistaken, right? This monster can actually heal. Yeah, it actually can heal. So you have your supporter there, but don't run those life runes. Do triple team speed or something. Triple team speed or 1 speed, 2 team speed. That should be on Fireus, okay, if you're gonna run that. Master Goldfield, it's super fast. Now here's the thing with Master Goldfield being super fast. I understand that it could trade the table and things like that, although I doubt you use a trade table most of the time, because again, Goldfield and Serpentix, Serpentix already gains that pierce straight away at rank 0, so you don't really need to trade table. He can just pierce through anything. So what you can do is actually slow down, nerf the speed on this monster. So what I would do is maybe do two speed and 1 team speed, or you can play around with it. Eventually just make sure that, you know, Master Goldfield's speed is higher than Serpentix, but not by so much, you know what I mean? Just by a little bit, so that you can go ahead and benefit from that double damage straight away. Or if you do something different, like remove negative status effects, you can do that too. But don't make it super fast, because the enemy can always take in the turn right after your Master Goldfield and then do something like PER or do something to Serpentix. That way, like, you just lose that, you lose a double damage, or you lose something else, you know what I mean? So just nerf the speed, I would say. So do 2 speed and 1 team speed, or you can do 1 speed, 1 team speed, and 1 life with speed, if you have that. Just make sure that it is right after, okay? So their speed is pretty close to each other. But what I highly recommend doing is swapping out this monster for a tank. If you have a tank, do it, okay? Let's see what you got here, actually. So, oh yeah, turn him around. Look at that. You have that 115. Get it to 130. If you could get it to 130, you have that damage section. It's gonna benefit you. You can actually swap it out with Firius. Literally swap them out together. Dragbite's not bad. He's kind of solid. I see that you have Harp Hiker as well. I personally don't have it. But I would say if you want, you can focus on Harp Hiker and Dragbite. They're not that bad. Obviously focus on these two. Try to max them out if you can. You know what I mean? As fast as possible. This one's actually not that bad if you want to go ahead and invest in him. Slub. Forge Labs is amazing. Forge Labs is one of the best supporters. What I highly recommend doing is investing in this and actually use it for either your attack team or defense team. If you do end up using for your defense team, you can swap out Goldfield, you know, swap it out with Forge Labs so that Forge Labs applies that triple damage, and again their speed needs to be super close to each other. Okay, all right, the remaining, actually this one is the only one that's actually worth investing in the remaining section. So this, if you can actually get it to rank 3, that's when you get that Satisfaction Area Torture immunity. It will benefit your team so much. Trust me, you're going to love it. Okay, so try to get that to rank 3, and then you could probably use it for either defense or offense. Talika is one of those monsters that could be used for either one. You know what I mean? It's good in any situation. So anyways, for your main islands, oh man, you gotta swap these. You gotta, you know, move these into either this island or probably like right about here. I understand, you know what, you did mention that you're a free-to-play player, so I don't think you're going to purchase the Legends passes. So I don't think it really matters because it helps with team race. I've mentioned this in all of my account review videos if you watched the previous ones, but I wouldn't recommend having it in the main island because it just takes so much space. For now, for your level, I'm assuming you don't. Oh, you actually purchased both of these islands. Oh wow. Well, in that case, then yeah, these ones actually cost money and you don't have them. In that case, actually, yeah, move these somewhere else and then make your main island full of mythics. And also, here's the thing for anybody watching this out there, this actually applies to everybody watching this. These decorations, you want to get rid of them. Trust me, it's a waste of space. It's gonna, you're not going to gain as much gold because, again, you know, lack of space means that you won't be able to place your monsters in there and you won't make more gold. So why even have them? I understand some players just like the designs and everything like that, but if you're lacking gold, I would highly recommend removing these because it's just waste of space. And also these temples, you know, do what I did with them. So for example, if you make your main island full of 2 elements only, so one side would be thunder, the other side would be dark, for example, right? You'd have the thunder and dark both on these islands, and then the remaining temples you can probably either put it in where his farm is here. Probably actually put in like 2 of them, put them in there. You probably put another one in here instead of this. You see what I mean? Waste of space. So get rid of that. Probably put it somewhere over here and these 2 little mini islands, you know what I mean, right here. So just put them in there because yeah, like this is awesome. Look perfect. You could probably put in another one, I think, if you actually squeeze it in. So it's just, why not take advantage of those little mini things that you had? Yeah, look at that. That's perfect. Do that. And all these food farms, I would highly recommend putting it right here. All these legendary monsters that you see here, you should probably, for now it's fine, you can actually use them for gold, but later on you want to swap it out with mythics. So what you can do is make some space in the monster vault and place all these monsters in the monster vault. That way you don't sell your legendaries, you could use them in future breeding events and things like that, you know what I mean? So something to keep in mind. I'm glad that your rune guardian or your rune building is actually at level 10. That's awesome. Oh, you don't have this unlocked? It's fine for now, but later on you do want to prepare this. This actually helps out a lot in PvP or even Team Wars, almost anything really, but especially Team Wars. Okay, so these 2 max them out obviously, but then later on repair this and you can level that up too. So anyways, not bad overall, but there are lots and lots of improvements you can definitely make. So just make sure to note though. Next player we got is the White Hawk from Crisis. This player is the leader, I see, and this is actually an alt account for this specific player. So anyways, level 51, 5k monster power. Let's see what you got. Oh, you're still playing around with Manovision. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I see the play here. Okay, you're using Shadow Yena, so you take in the first turn, and you turn transfer over to Manofusion, and Manofusion does all this stuff, and then turn transfer over to Cherub Cupid, and you win that way. Now, the only issue here is that if you face a Megaton with another monster on the side with Anticipation, then it's going to be an issue. Okay, because you know, Manovision can easily die. And also, if they can take an advantage of that, and let's say if it's Galvanus, and Galvanus applies animation to everybody, and then you're screwed, you know what I mean? So something like that would probably counter your team really badly. I wouldn't actually use it for defense though, because as you guys can see, it actually shows. You probably use it for offense and then swap this out and put it on defense. But I'm gonna see what other monsters you have so that you can actually set that up there. I see that you have Dormant Santa and you're using it. It's a really good monster, so definitely something to invest in. Corey's at level 50. See if you can actually level up Corey to 100 and also Zajan to 100. These two are actually not that bad. Naya's actually pretty amazing, so I see that you're using it for attack team. And it's just one of those monsters where you take in the first turn, you turn transfer over, and then you win. I see that it's actually doing very well. I'm assuming that in the lower league, which obviously this is actually a good point. In lower leagues, there's not that many players that cares about anticipations, that cares about all those other stuff. They don't really set it up for defense. You know what I mean? They just set up whatever they have, like whatever their strongest monster is. You know what I mean? So it'll definitely help you in the lower leagues, but then later on, in the higher leagues, you do want to switch it out with something different. So for defense, again, what you can do, since this is actually working out so well for your attack team, you can actually swap this out, put it on defense, and use your defense team, put it on offense, and actually equip Manovision with team speeds. So you want to make Shadow Unit as fast as possible. Yeah, swap these out. This is not a good idea. Swap all this out with speedruns, okay? You want to make Shadow as fast as possible so you can turn transfer over. But then another counter would be players using Shock Beast. Shock Beast is going to screw you over, okay? So just something to keep in mind. Let's see what you got here. Horror is actually not that bad. If you want to, here's the thing. Oh, it's actually at rank 4. It's at rank 4 for the Megaton. Never mind. It's gonna take you some time. This mythic overall is actually not bad. If you could get it to rank 1, you can actually use Fireful and swap it out with another monster here, maybe Manofusion. So overall in here, the only monsters that are actually worth investing in would be Dormant Santa, maybe these two, Naya obviously, these two monsters right here, Fireful, Chirp Cupid, and that's about it. Okay, the other remaining monsters, they're out of date. You can still use them in some ways, like for example Mana Infusion that you're using, you know what I mean? That strat's actually not that bad, but there's better monsters out there to use. If you could get your hands on them, I'd highly recommend doing that. So let's see what you got here for your main island. It's all just random. You could definitely actually organize this. Let me see if you have... Oh, you don't have these other islands. See, look, this is actually a great example. Remember earlier what I told you guys? For those of you guys that are watching and you have these two, whatever island, it doesn't matter if it's these two or some other ones. Look at this player. Amazing. You know what I mean? Got everything cleared off, so later on when it's when it's the time to actually purchase these, you know, because you're lacking on space but you have a lot of gold, you can actually just remove a place in habitat straight away instead of having to wait by removing every one. You know what I mean? So just something to, I guess, consider there. I'm glad that you're placing them here. This is actually a pretty good placement for this. This is good. Level 9 rune building. For now, the way that it's set up, it's actually not bad. Like I'm glad you have all your fire monsters here, nature monsters and stuff like that. This is just, it's because this player has space. He's not lacking on space, I would say. This player's not lacking on space. Like for example, you can actually, like if you move these habitats a little bit closer to legendaries and then move these habitats, or you don't even have to actually, but you can actually place even more habitats here. Like you can't see it right now, but you can definitely squeeze in a lot. You know what I mean? So definitely not lacking on space, but overall not bad. I would say later on when you get lots of mythics, replace all your legendary habitats and all these other habitats with mythic habitats. What I'd highly recommend doing first is swapping these out, all the normal habitats. Okay, I'm gonna call these normal habitats. Okay, swap these out first, get rid of them, and then eventually later on when you have to, when you really need to, go ahead and get rid of the legendary habitats. Don't sell the legendary monsters because you'll need them for breeding events. Place them in a monster vault. Okay, so you'll get a lot of gold that way, but overall not bad though. Next player we got is Opie from Rat's Lair. Let's see how OP this player is. Okay, level 79 at 7k monster power, close to 8k. All right, so this player mainly needs PvP help, but we'll do a overall, account review. So we'll mainly focus on PvP though, because that's basically what the comment says. So let's see what we got here. You're using Alchemistic, you're using Nerida, and then Cherub Cupid. So here's the thing. I wouldn't really. Here's the thing. I would actually swap this out. Get rid of Alchemistic if you have a tank or something to swap out with. Let's see. You do have Sparkus. Sparkus has taunt. If you could get it to rank 3, gain that mega taunt, this monster's still usable. If you could give it like a 7 cents or something, it doesn't have to be 7 cents, but 7 cents is probably one of the best to actually go with on this monster. You can actually use Sparkus instead of Alchemistic, and then you can just keep your Nerida with Cherub Cupid, and make sure that their speed are somewhat close to each other. You know what I mean? If your monster ends up needing, let's say, heal, or if it needs to trade the table, you can trade the table, but most of the time it's either NER with heal, torture, immunity, things like that, because this monster has access to pierce. It doesn't rely on monsters to trade table, you know what I mean? So you don't have to do that, but just swap out Alchemistic with like a tank or something. For your defense team, you're using Tadice, I see, Cherub Cupid, tank. So you're using this monster as an attacker. You do have your taunt. Swap this out with a dodge area, I would say. So you have double dodge area with taunt. That way the only thing that will counter you would be either a monster to trade tables or they have pierce. But yeah, so swap out this monster with a dodge area. Let me see if you have any dodge areas. I don't see any dodge areas. Is there any dodge areas? No, it's just this one, and he's already using it. You can actually, if you want, you can use Voltic Redeem. Voltic Redeem is pretty good for even defense or attack team, both of them actually. I would actually use Voltic Redeemed over Teddy Bomb. Yeah, so if you're watching this, swap out Teddy Bomb with Voltic. Voltic's actually pretty good. And if you have like Caradon's Horn, or that other Aris Cape, I think it's called, that talent, it goes very well with this monster, so something to consider. The monsters that are actually worth investing in here would be Azagin, Mhrbl, Voltic Redeemed, maybe Enhancer for Team Wars. This monster is actually amazing, so yeah, Boulder would be one of the best to actually investing. Nerida, 100%. Yes, 100%. Cherub Cupid's actually still pretty good. Maybe Teddy Bomb, sure. But you do have Cherub Cupid, so might as well just invest in Cherub Cupid first and then Teddy Bomb. Jaguar is not that bad if you want to. Go ahead. And this monster is still usable, so I'd say yeah. So yeah, just make sure to do the things that I mentioned. You know what I mean? Let's see what we got here for your island. Okay, just all legendaries. They're pretty random. It's alright. I'm glad you have all these here, and this is there. Not bad, not bad. Level 10, actually like that. Good job, good job. At level 79, that's actually impressive. These two are only unlocked. You don't have to worry about this for now, but later on you do want to repair it and start using it. It helps out a lot. So max this out though first, okay? That actually helps you out a lot. Okay. I see that you don't have too many monsters, or I guess you got rid of all of your commons, uncommons, rares, and epics. You got rid of those and probably put it in your monster vault or sold them, but that's okay. Since you are actually good with space, although maybe actually you could just place them in here for extra gold. But that's up to you, really. What makes the most gold here is just the mythic habitat and legendary habitat, so keep it the way it is, I guess. Again, start removing these. So whichever island is next, let me see. If I had to guess what island is next, it's either this one that you have to purchase next, or it's this one. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Has to be this one. I'm pretty sure that's the order, right? You already purchased this one, so yeah, it's got to be this one. And then it goes here, and then here, and I believe it's here, and then there, right? Or one of the two. But I can't really say much with in terms of your island layout right now. For now, it's okay, but later on, obviously, swap these out with the mythic habitats. Have every island full of mythic habitats when you have tons of them. So participate in PvP, participate in tail challenges, bounty hunts. Well, bounty hunts you have to actually purchase now, is that one? Not necessarily actually, because if you do get a lot of coins, you can actually still get mythics obtain mythics from the shop. But it's just that they removed the free ones, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's Monster Legends account review. I hope this video helped you guys out, and if you guys would like to be featured in one of the future account reviews, make sure to comment down below your profile name and your team name. And if you want to add like a little comment where you want me to focus on something specifically, then you can do that as well. But yeah guys, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.